Hey Reese, how are you? Could you hear me okay? Yeah. Oh, Aso says, hey babe. Hello, darling. um, Reese, I think, yeah, you're first for sure, but I think I'm late. That's why everybody is probably didn't expect a, a live talk today. Andy, thank you. Andy says, we can hear you perfect. That's the first time. Anne D. Is it a girl, Anne, or is it Andy? A boy. But it's the first time I see this screen name. Or am I wrong? Have you been here before? Hello, Sean. And one in our videos, that's what you accidentally called your what? Sean, what did you say? I can't figure it out. Reese says perfect timing for here in London. Oh, good. Hello, David. Don't tell me. Dallas 23. So where's everybody else's vital statistics? The protocol. Remember where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman, if it's not visible by your picture or by your name. Aso says, Mehran, they say don't trust your body cause it's limited, but trust your brain and soul, they are limitless. What do you think? Well, we've discussed that many times, that our life is made out of mind and body. Unfortunately, people think what they see of themselves, the avatar, the physical portion, is all there is to them. But we have proven it in the world, for thousands of years, and including in our videos. I have that segment that I did a seminar at the local university where we talked about thought, consciousness, fear, and so on, and the relationship between thought and fear and time. And in it, there was a demonstration that I did that a student much bigger than me tried to lift me up, and then I tried to use my muscle mass, which we all have, and he was able to lift me up. Then a second later, he wasn't, where my mass was still the same, and I wasn't hanging anything else on me to make me heavier, but it shows the power of mind being of extraordinary, unknown formula. And so we can say that physical being has limit. Everything physical is limited, and therefore we cannot rely on their capacity to be unlimited. But the mental part, the ability for power of mind and flow and harmony with the universal energy, these are all different parts of our being that we should focus on. And we shouldn't think that we are all there is. What we see of ourselves is all there is to us. Annie says, I'm male from Puerto Rico. Oh, okay, 38 male, Puerto Rico. It's your first time, Andy, right? I don't remember this screen name, or perhaps I forgot. And Aso Oman, 23, female. Okay. Sean Bowser said, you said you accidentally called your TB. Yes, 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 yes. So let me go back, see what you said there. Yes. Sean says, and one in our video, that's what you accidentally called your tea. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, the baby. Oh, yes, yes. Now I get it. The asshole's comment and your comment and the tea. Now I get it, Sean. Okay, I'm on board now. Taha. Hello, Taha. How are you? Roxana. Hello, dear. Yes, Dallas, Texas. 23, age 23, yes. Tara says, I watched it and it was amazing. Oh, the seminar at the university that I did, or the short version of the demonstration. Either way, the demonstration is it. I have prepared another video, which I'm going to wait until Olga will do one of her magic thumbnails for it before I publish it. It's uploaded, but I will publish it when I have the right thumbnail. It's an interesting one, in my opinion. It opens up a little bit more, especially from boys' point of view, because we always try to talk from boys' point of view on this channel, unless because it's easier, and then everybody else can switch around and grab the concept for their type of relationship. And this one is talking about why you feel like a loser when a girl doesn't want you. I just this word loser makes me laugh because it's funny. It's such a stupid way of saying something about, because nobody's a loser, but this is how we kind of you know, feel when we're dissed, and we want to know why that is. So soon I'll have that published, and I think you'll enjoy it. Let's see. Yes, David, this is live talk number 200. Number 200. We started the first one in 2016 in about the same time. Perhaps it is our anniversary as well. Yes, I think it is. If we look back, it should be very close, or if it's right on the button. And we now have 200. We started this live talks with request of a bunch of young, talented people who run a wonderful company called WittyFeed from Indore, India. And they had this Facebook page of over 5 million people reach. And they asked me to have a talk on that Facebook. We started with 15 minutes, and then we ended up with much longer than that. And then eventually, somehow, I don't find that page on the Facebook at the moment. We moved to my own Facebook page, and we had live talk on that page for a while, and then we had some at the Amazing Things in the World. I was WittyFeed's Facebook page, administered by WittyFeed, and so we we alternated, one at my own Facebook page, one at theirs, and then eventually we are here now at YouTube, and I still don't have the right resolution and all that, because my bitrate is so slow here, and I try to switch to another company which has a high bitrate, but it was a little bit expensive, so maybe eventually we will. The better, faster upload and better picture quality was expensive, but because I complained to the old company, they cut my rate into half, so at least we got some break here. But I still would like to move to the other company, which I will as soon as we have more money. And so the more subscribers we have, then I guess YouTube will be able to give us a little bit more money. Right now we don't make any, so so perhaps we'll sell more books and people become more aware of our channel and will become more popular. And I'm banking on the contents, as you know, you all have said to me that our contents are second to none, but yet we don't have the number of subscribers. But we're trying with Olga's effort, with all the awesome thumbnails that she makes and all the live talks that we have, and the new ventures that I've taken with the television program for the Farsi station out of Los Angeles. I just finished a 6 exclusive episode in Farsi for them, and it is now uploaded on this channel as well. And live talks and upload every day, and thumbnails. We should eventually be able to be seen and end up with that elusive 1 million subscriber maybe 100 years from now. But I'm already dead and gone. So if you guys want any live sessions in any parts of the world, then get on with it. Promote the channel, share it on your social media, let people know, and we'll eventually maybe get a lot more subscribers to make us enough money to make it possible for me to travel and meet, you know, have workshops and so on around the world, and then we'll see how many people we can help and reach to help them to know about their own psyche, their own thought, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, and what role they play in their day-to-day negotiation life, including dealing with their emotional problems, breakups, and other challenges as they come to face with. And Johnny says, hey Mehran, male 29 from UK. Hello Johnny. And he says, yes, first timer. Yeah, see, I could sniff it. I hadn't seen that screen name. Johnny says, I work with a girl who already had a boyfriend. Johnny, protocol is, oh, there it is. Johnny, male 29 from UK. All right, Johnny, I'm with you now. Male 29 UK. Johnny says, I work with a girl who already had a boyfriend. All right. But said she hated him and wanted to be with me. For ages, she promised me we would be together, but never left her boyfriend. I cut ties in the end. Find it hard to trust now after being lied to continuously to my face. Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. It's like saying I rode a horse and the horse bucked me, and I can't think that I can ever ride another horse or trust another horse. That's nonsense. First of all, you should be trained to ride a horse better, to know how to deal with horse, to sense and be able to communicate better with the horse, so you can have a better seat, a stronger posture, and more knowledge about what it is that you're doing. That's number one. Number two, not every horse is the same. You can't think just because one horse bucked you and wasn't trained well or wasn't properly balanced is going to do the same. You know, all other horses are going to be doing the same. Of course, this is not meant to demean your friend, your girlfriend. This is just to deliver a point. Therefore, I'm trying to tell you that not every person, every human being is the same, or their behavior or their mentality or their logic or their purpose or encouragement or shortcomings, they're not all the same. So just because one girl lied to you, strung you along, that should tell you that she had shortcomings of not really believing in herself, by leaving what she didn't like and going to what she liked. Instead, she wanted to have options, and she played, and that's not a good place to be, and you did the right thing to cut relationship with her. But that doesn't mean that every girl is such a silly, confused person. There are lots of women in this world are wonderful, caring, compassionate, unselfish, classy, wise, educated, loyal, helpful, supportive. That's the meaning of a woman. And there are millions and millions of them around. Just because you haven't met one yet, or you haven't been in a relationship with one, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. Listen, I don't have $1 million, but I know it exists. So just because I don't have it, or I don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. I just haven't come to it yet. So relax, and choose better. Look for a better sign. If you're choosing with a girlfriend, if you're qualifying a girlfriend just on the basis of that you're turned on by her, well, listen, I have news for you. You're a heterosexual male, and you're going to be turned on with the sight of a woman just as long as she has something that you like. So that's not going to be a qualifying factor that she's the right girl for you. You're turned on by a picture of a woman. That doesn't mean that she's qualified for you. You have to have standards and qualification system. That what is it that you're looking for? The beauty of a woman is there. Every woman is beautiful to somebody. But that's not supposed to be the deciding factor for you that she's the right person for you. If you want to go on the premise of, on the basis of what turns you on, well, every woman out there would be the qualified woman for you. But are you actually living or having a relationship with the physical entity of the woman, or are you having a relationship with the actual center of the woman, the actual woman, the personality of the woman, the character, the mentality, the consciousness of the woman? So for that, you can't judge that from how she looks. There's so many beautiful women that you can't stand them a second once they start interacting with you, because they're so far different in unconsciousness level on how you guys tick and what your preferences and lifestyles are and so on. So it is not the look of a woman that you're having a relationship with. It is the personality of the woman, the consciousness of the woman, how she is put together. And how, women have a relationship with a man is not based on just, what he has and whatnot. Yeah, sure, maybe they consider that if he has money, if he has this car, if he has this job and so forth. But in reality, what makes or breaks a relationship is not what the guy has, that the girl will stick, with him for a long time. Eventually, she will realize that what the guy has is not what she can have a relationship with, is what the guy is she can have a relationship with, meaning his consciousness. Are they compatible? Can they hit it off? Can they understand each other? Can they tolerate each other? Can they compromise? Can they come up with a new order? Can their mechanical process be similar? Can it be compatible? All these things is what you're having a relationship with, and that all comes from the consciousness of the person. So if your criteria to choose your girlfriend is only on the basis of she's good looking, well, you're in trouble, because you're going to be walking in the street and falling in love with every female that you see. And that's not the way really to think that you can have a successful relationship. So think it through, and now focus on having proper selection process and fine-tune your selection process, and then you will have a better chance to have a relationship that would last longer because then the two consciousnesses will be more compatible. Aso says, Mehran, my ex hit me with the I miss you message, and I replied, what do you expect? Of course you do. Followed by JK, I don't even know how to play the game anymore, but thanks bro. He never replied. I don't understand. Last part. What you expect? Of course you do. Of course you do. Followed by JK, I don't know what that is. I don't even know how to play this game. Okay, anyhow, so, and she says, this ex wasn't really good. His previous resume proved him to be not the good fit. So I guess he ain't missing me. He missed the access to me. What do you? Yeah, probably. Listen, don't focus on if you're chosen or not. Be the one who also is involved in doing the choosing. In other words, you shouldn't just be chosen by someone and say, okay, then that should be the right person for you because you've been chosen by him. No, you should also see if you like to be chosen and you do choose that guy as well. Otherwise, you know, look, many guys choose a girl, but the girl should see if they also choose the guy. And many girls may choose the guy, and the guy must also see if they can choose the girl, meaning it has to be from both sides, consent from both sides, and meeting your expectations from both sides, so you'll have a chance. Otherwise, just because somebody texts you and they initiated a call, but that means now, okay, now that means something. No, don't sell yourself short. Focus on what's the quality that is calling, knocking on the door. If there is no quality, there's no sense to it. Get rid of him, boy or girl, in either case. Girls, you know, you have to know if the guy is the right guy for you, not just because he's hitting on you or asking you out or showing interest. And guys, you got to know if the girl is suitable. She's got things that you can expect, or it's, you know, the policy, you know, within the expectation, the standards of you, not just because she turns you on. That has nothing to do with the relationship. That's a program you have in your genes. You get turned on by a woman, that's it. But that's not a qualification to base a relationship which is taking place through your consciousness, your energy level, your communications, your compatibility, and that's all mental. So be aware of that. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be a short fling, and then difficulties, divisions, and conflicts start. Roxana says, nice, that's okay. What happened? Tanya says, don't forget the females. I don't know where I was that you made the comment. I might have covered it already. Aso talking to Roxana. Okay. Sean says, we are only losers in our own mind. Okay. Yeah, then, yeah, true. That's very true. We'll also watch the video when it's published. You will see certain angles. Aso says, no one is a loser. Good job. Andy says, you are what you think and say you are. So change how you talk about yourself. No one is always good, good, good. These are all good. We have talked about this not thinking that you're a loser and nobody is a loser. That's a nonsense in other videos. Nevertheless, I know that many of boys do feel like she dissed me or she didn't pay attention to me. Even when you say hello to a girl and you're just more extrovert and she's not interested to respond the way you expressed your eagerness to say hello, and you kind of feel like embarrassed. So in that video we're talking about why you feel embarrassed and why you feel like she dissed you, or the feeling of jokingly but yet it delivers a point, a feeling of the way you feel like kind of loser type in a way in your own mind, which you shouldn't. We've discussed that. But in order to identify with that feeling that boys get when a girl doesn't reciprocate their eagerness to get to know or to exchange salutations, that's what we're talking about on that video. I'm sure that you will enjoy the topics and the content. There we go, Andy. Good angle as well. Yes, we've discussed all these, but there are things that I want you guys to be more aware, to become stronger when such situations happens in life, and to be fully focused why you feel that way. Now, calling it to feel loser is just a way to point out a certain feelings that you get. But it's the feeling, whatever that feeling is that you get when a girl disses you, or kind of you feel embarrassed. That's what we're talking about. But again, you gotta wait until that video is published, and we all gotta wait till Olga does one of her magic thumbnails for that. Now, Aso says, Mehran, I have the coolest psychiatrist ever. Last time I told him I want to be rich before getting married, he asked how much rich, Aso, and he made me think for 2 weeks about it. So I came back telling him rich enough to buy a Lambo. Yet he said, fuck the Lambo. Yeah, it's the happiness and richness is not in things, of course, we all know. While things are important and we like to have them so we can buy here this and that and comfort and lifestyle, but ultimately it is what you know about yourself, how you can deal with the happenings of life, day-to-day life, how you can negotiate and understand the events and the thought patterns and the feelings that you get. Why are they there? Do you know about yourself? Knowing about yourself is where real happiness can take place. Yes, of course, money is important. We all like to have money, and we'll do our best to get as much of it as we want. I'm all for that. But beside that, you must know that no matter how much money you have, you still are not completely free when you don't know anything about what makes you tick. There's so many people in the world, they have all kinds of money, but they're not really free in their mind or happy. So we must know about this machine that we are traveling on and experience the world with. What is this, the mechanism of this machine? How does it work? How we can fix it? What troubles can it have, and how we can understand those troubles and repair it by ourselves? We all try to go to a psychologist and try to find out about ourselves. But how could somebody else really tell you what you're all about when you are capable of really knowing how you've been put together and what makes you tick? What are the elements that makes you feel this way or that way? And that's where we are trying to focus, that beside all the help that you may have out there, from medical professions and all that. But way before that, you must learn about how you're put together, so you can tell yourself what is happening with you, what is wrong with you, how you can fix it better than anybody else. We're not talking about the clinical challenges and challenges that needs medicine and procedures and so on. We're talking about a person who is basically unaware of his own psyche, must become aware of his own psyche, must know what is thinking, what is thoughts, where does it come from, how do I come about thinking, and what is the relationship between my thoughts and my consciousness, how is the consciousness put together, what is the relationship between the consciousness, thoughts, and fear, what does fear have to do with me in life, how does that make me act, react, and function, how does it affect the quality of my life, where does fear come from, what is fear, what about desire, where does desire come from, how is it born, how does it affect my living experiences, what about ego, what is ego, am I ego, is ego an organ? When I was born I had a heart, I have a kidney, and I also have a liver and a ego. Is that a name of an organ? Or how is ego come about? What is its role? How does it affect my life? All these, knowing about what is all these things, what does it have to do with you? Then you get to know about your own psyche. You get to be able to figure out what's not really working out, what I should do, what repairs I should make here, what I should have to consider. It's like a real good mechanic for the car that you drive. You'll never be stranded on the road because you know what to fix. And the same thing with your own machine, your psyche. That's what we're doing here. That's why I highly recommend you guys, anybody who hasn't acquired it yet, go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, pick up the book, either in writing, the print form, or the ebook. The print form is very expensive because it's heavy and has to be shipped, and the ebook is very, very cheap. Like, nobody can say to me that they can't afford it because it's the price of a couple of cup of coffee or tea. So by, I don't know, $5.99, you can buy the Me, My Psyche, and I. Me, My Psyche, and I. It tells you a lot about your psyche, about the movement of your mind, about time, about what is time, about where is the home for the mind, what is meditation, what is fear, desire, ego, consciousness, thought, all of these and a lot more. And you got to know that. And then there's the other book, Transient Thoughts and Me. Transient Thoughts and Me talks about the thoughts that come to your mind that they were not invited. You did not want those thoughts to appear in your head, but they do. And you wonder, what are they? What do they have to do with me? Do they define me? Are those thoughts representing who I am? Why are they there? What do I do with them? How do I manage them? How do I understand them? What is their role in this? How do they come about? All of that is discussed in the Transient Thoughts and Me. And that helps you out to know the movement of these thinkings and where do they stem from. So all of these are there. You need to go and pick that book up. I really recommend. That's why I made it so cheap, so everybody can afford it. So go get it and get to know by yourselves. Now let's go on with Lukács Kowalski. He says, hello, during my life, the feeling of positive emotions diminished in me. The only emotions I feel with intense are stress and fear. Yes. How to connect with emotion part of me again? Any advice? Yes. It is true that the world we live in is lots of garbage in it. Lots of negativities, lots of hate, lots of uncertainty, lots of politicians around the world create trouble, lots of wars, lots of stress that affects us all, no matter where we live. Atrocities, inhumane behavior, pain that others go through in different parts of the world all affects us. We're all connected. If you're a decent human being and we care about this whole life and the living beings here and how they're treated, and we wish well for everybody, these behaviors of today's world and the governments and their negative activities in the world, wars and misbehaving and mistreatments and all the other things that we see, affects us and makes us feel unhappy, sad, mostly because we can't do much about it. That's what we think. Even though if every one of us could, in a united way, think differently or vote differently, then we could make big changes. But that is for a different topic and different place. We are not talking about that. We are just thinking about how sad all that makes us. And it's true. And that's why you kind of disconnected yourself from that emotion of love and happiness, because you see there's so much atrocities and pain everywhere, and you're feeling it, and you find yourself helpless. So what we need to do, we need to go to basic. We need to go to basics of understanding what our connection with life. All these events and what we have witnessed in the news and everything else has caused us to disconnect ourselves and caused us to think that we are not connected, that we are helpless, and that we are individual. We're all by ourselves. We feel alone. Let's focus on the word alone. Instead of feeling that you're alone because you're not connected to all these physical things that you expected to represent us as part of the whole, let's focus on what we really are connected, and we have forgotten about that. The whole word alone. Alone supposed to mean all one. So if you focus on the fact that when you think you're alone, you're in fact one with all one, alone, all one. So focus on that. That gives you the idea that I come from a bigger thing. I come from the nature. The nature is coming from universe. Universe runs through it a certain organism, certain energy that flows through it to make this whole universe work. That energy through the nature and also through me has made me, has put me together. So everything has been put together by this energy. Energy of the universe created nature. Nature itself, I'm living in it. So everything is made out of this energy. Everything is made out of it. Scientists have proven it. There's nothing in this world that is not made out of energy. Everything is energy. And this energy is one, is flowing throughout the universe, helping things grow and develop. And part of that energy runs through me, runs through you. And that energy connects us all, binds us all, binds the whole universe, binds me as a human being, binds the trees, the flowers, the fruits, animals, everything. This energy is flowing through all of us and continues its journey to the other ends of the universe, from all corners, this way and that way, in front and back, up and down, all in between. The energy is flowing from one end of the universe to the other of the universe, and it passes through you. And when it passes through you, if you are negative and if you're sad, then it's boosted out in a different quality of the energy. Sadness, negativity, then it's going to affect the other one in a negative way. And so it is always important to realize that this tremendous amount of energy that is flowing all throughout the universe cannot simply be changed in quality because there are certain bad things that are happening in the world. In fact, we got to focus on the actual quality of this energy being positive, because it helps things to grow and develop. Therefore, we must focus on that quality of it. When we are thinking that way, we are actually boosting that energy outwardly in the quality of positivity and happy, then it's going to go and affect the others in that quality, rather than we think that we are alone, we are helpless, and we are not connected. Therefore, what are we doing? By thinking that we are not connected, we are cutting down the flow of the natural energy that is trying to reach through us and through the trees, through the animal, through other human beings, to all other human beings around the world. We're cutting that whole opportunity, that whole quality of energy traveling to reach them, to help them. So stop thinking that you're helpless and start understanding that you're connected thoroughly to the whole universe, and every part of you can be helpful to changing that what you think. I'm not in connection with it. I'm not in connection with the emotions that I used to have. To be happy. Understand that this abundance of energy coming from all corners of the universe through you and passing through you and continuing its journey is abundant. And whatever unhappiness you have, this humongous energy can wash that away and change the quality of it and turn it into hopeful, happy, healthy energy, because it's out there. Now, both kind of energy is available in this universe. You can focus on negative energy and you become negative. Focus on positive energy and you become hopeful and positive. It's only your thoughts. You are a receiver and a sender. You're a capacitor and a promoter of this energy as it passes through you. So if you think that you are not connected, then you believe your thoughts, because thoughts wants to replace the actuality. Thoughts make you think that that is what you're thinking is really true. So might as well try to think good things and focus on the real truth of the universal quality and the energy that passes through the universe, flows through the universe, and the quality of it, which must be positive and stronger than all the negativities that you're feeling, because it's still helping things to grow and develop. It's still making the trees and the oceans move and grow and develop. The trees are green, the animals are alive, and the oceans still, feed the fish and everything else that is in the ocean. And the movement of wind, movement of the ocean, they're all still alive, all because of the energy of the universe. So if that energy is so humongous, it cannot be turned to that negative and unhappiness and sadness and unhopefulness that you're talking about. So focus on the fact that it is far bigger than it's impossible for it to finish. That love, that emotion, that happiness, that hopefulness, that positiveness of the quality of that energy, it's impossible for it to stop. That's why the world still is alive. No matter how much shit these human beings do to this world, we're still blessed by the beauty and the power of this wonderful energy of the universe that is still helping us grow. So focus on that. So in your thoughts, if you think negatively, you will think that negative is the world you're living in. If you think positively and focus on the quality of the energy that is flowing through the universe, throughout the universe, and through you, then you will start sensing that positivity and happiness and hopefulness. So it is all about you, what kind of quality you want to focus, because they're both available. The more you focus that no, there is no happiness and I can't tap into that emotion that I used to have, the more your thoughts will make you believe that's the case. But that is not really the case, because the real truth is out there. You can see it. Still, the energy of the universe is helping things to grow and develop. You can see things alive, and everything from air and quality and ocean and everything else is alive, and you. So there must be a humongous amount of positive energy out there. So why don't we focus on that? Because when we focus on that, then that would be what we will see. That would replace the negativity that we have, and it will be the first good step for you to start getting back to your emotions. Because whatever you think, you believe that's true. So if you think that you've lost that and you believe in that, then that thought becomes your belief. And then when it becomes your belief, you don't even look for any evidence for it. It's your belief, just like a religion. You've come to that conclusion and you stop searching. But when you actually focus, open your eyes and say, listen, for all these planets and cosmic happenings and all these galaxies and all these energies and all these trees and planets, and must be so many other planets like us that they're developing and growing, there must be a great positive energy. So I want to focus on that energy. And when you focus on that, you believe it's possible. It's in existence, not that it's not in existence. So when you focus on the existence of the hopefulness, good energy, and the wonderful happiness things that is possible, then you will start going that way. Your thoughts is your life. Change your thoughts, you'll change your life. I hope that's something for you to focus. And if you get my book, Me, My Psyche and I, there is tremendously good chapter on meditation, and helps you to become one with this energy in detail, and it becomes part of your life. And every day you do that meditation, it's like changing your whole energy quality and becoming more aligned and one with the good energy that is flowing through. And you will feel you're part of that energy. You'll no longer feel lonely. You will see your connection with the nature, because every day you're meditating, you're focusing on that energy that's flowing through the universe and flowing through you. You become aware of it. When you become aware of it, you're convinced that it exists. And therefore, when you're convinced that the positive energy exists, your emotions are one with the nature's emotion, and you're flowing freely through this energy of the universe, then no longer those sadnesses will be permanent for you. Maybe you get sad 1 day or 2 days, but again, you will always be aware and be focused on the real connection that you have with the nature and its energy. That helps you out. And he says, male 30 from Poland. Sean says, I wish I could ride a horse. Okay. Vic Effendi. Hi Mehran, he says, Vic 37 USA. Is it true that if the relationship was bad and there was a breakup, going back to the ex would be most likely a disappointment because the lack of respect? Yeah, sure. If the relationship was bad and then the breakup took place and you guys couldn't hold it, good riddance, bye-bye. Why you want to be with a relationship in a relationship that was so bad? Why? Because all you can think about is that a relationship makes you feel you're more. You're conditioned to want to be more from childhood. We have had many videos on these topics. You've always been compared with the others. You always wanted to be more. You've been always told you're not good enough. We all have. And therefore, being with a girl, being in a relationship, makes us feel, oh, we're affirmed. Somebody likes us. Now, even if that somebody, that girl that likes us, affirms us, is an asshole, but we still think somebody likes us. It's important for us to, for other people's opinion. And then we think, okay, somebody likes us. Therefore, now I'm more because I have a girlfriend. But what is the quality of that? That doesn't mean you're more, you're in deep shit and you think you're more. Just because you attain something, that doesn't mean you become more. It depends on what it is that you attain. If I get lots of, I don't know, fruits or lots of gold or lots of things that are positive and useful, okay, maybe I feel I'm more. But I may actually accumulate shit. It's attaining, but it's shit. I'm attaining shit. That doesn't mean I'm more. So being in a bad relationship, a bad choice, it shouldn't make you think, oh, I'm still more because I'm in a relationship, I have a girlfriend. No. In that case, then not being in that relationship, breaking up with that girl, freeing yourself, and then looking for positive lifestyle is when you become more. So the fact that you think if you get back with her, you will be more, and that's why your intention or your motivation is fooling you. Also, you know, boys, when they're in a relationship, they tend to forget about what's wrong with the relationship when they focus on the sex part. So, and they want that intimacy to make them feel, oh, you know, I can forget everything when I'm, you know, with having sex with my girlfriend. Therefore, that's why the girlfriend's so important, because when I'm having sex, I don't think there's anything wrong with my life. I'm not even aware of myself. I don't think about what I don't have. I don't think about anything wrong in my life. I don't think I need anything. And at the same time, I have everything. Everything is good when I'm having sex with my girlfriend. And you're focusing on that. Therefore, you think, oh, maybe I should get back to her, because that's one of the benefits that I receive, that I feel good about all the problems that I have in life. When I'm making love to her, I don't think of those problems. So I think she's the reason that I will feel good by not focusing on the problems. And that's why you want to go back to her. Not because she's so wonderful choice for you, is because there is a portion of that relationship that makes you forget about all your pain and difficulties and shortcomings. Don't have enough money, don't have a good job, or this and that, and all the fears for the future. But when you're having sex with her, you don't think about any of them. So it feels like, oh, she's really important to have, because through her, I can feel none of these things that bother me in life. So that could be your motivation. Don't fall for that. Endure that, deal with your challenges, and don't have to be in a bad relationship either. Look for a good relationship. Aso says, okay. The Raf says, hello, sorry I'm late. No, you're not late. Glad to be here for the big 200. Yeah, that's right. Now, guys, I hope before you guys left, you did actually click on the like. At one point, we had 18 people. I hope they clicked on the like before they left. Now we have 12. What does that mean, 12 watching? We have more people here. How could it be 12 watching? The Raf says, my question, how to deal with trauma bonding after narcissistic abuse. I realize now that the relationship was a lie, but my brain and emotions won't accept it. I know once I meet someone else, I'll be okay. But for the time being, it's still hard. Mark 34 UK. Well, Mark, your brain and emotions don't accept it. Why? Because you're only focusing on that one thing that was good, maybe, or at least would make you feel what I just covered, the sex part. You're not focusing on the stuff that was wrong with the relationship, because human being is put together in such a way that we forget about the bad things much sooner than we forget about the good things. So you forget about the bad things, the things that were wrong in that relationship, and you're focusing on the pleasurable stuff, and then you think the whole relationship was good. It wasn't. That's why your mind doesn't want to give it up. No, give it up, because what you don't want to get rid of, it's in your thoughts and in your memory, and it's part of your consciousness. And you think if you give it up, you've kind of betrayed yourself, because it's your thoughts that thinks you should be with her, because it's your memory that tells you that you had good times with her. So you think if you diss all these and still don't think about her, you've done some kind of a sin, because your memory is telling you it was good, so why should I not? Focus on the other stuff that caused you guys to be here. Focus on the bad shit that went on that made you see that she's a narcissist and whatever. Focus on all the bad stuff, you know, the negative stuff. Then you will see the whole quality of that relationship. But otherwise, your memory only points you toward the good stuff, and then you think, oh, my mind still can't let go, can't convince myself. Yeah, because you're focusing on the pleasure, focusing on the shit. Yeah? And maybe that'll help. Kalani says, my brother. Great to see you. Great to see you, Kalani. Aloha. How are things there? Hope you're doing well. I haven't checked to see what's happening with the volcano activity in Hawaii Island, the Big Island. Last I checked, it was still going on. The lava was still coming out, and so I gotta check after the live talk. I'll check and see what's the new development. Hope everything is okay and everything is cooling off. Johnny says, thanks Mehran, it's a bit hard because I have to work with this girl and now stick to being professional, but I think she may make life difficult and lie to other colleagues about me just to be petty. Who cares? Stick on the truth. Stick to the truth. She is not truth. Just one person's opinion is not the truth. But it is so important for you to have the opinion of the others favorable towards you that you have become hostage to what other people think, and it makes you suffer wondering what other people would think as the cause of what she would be saying or not saying. Well, look at it this way. Whatever she says, she's one person. And you can say anything you want to say to those same people too, if it comes about, if the topic comes up. Otherwise, just focus on your work. Don't give a shit. You can't let somebody's words manipulate you or derail you from your focus on your daily life. Ahmed says, hi Mr. Mehran. Hello Ahmed. My respects, sir. Thank you very much. Same here. A 30-year male, Sudan. Okay, you're from Sudan and 30-year-old male. And he says, Mr. Mehran, we suffer from a very bad economic situations with very high rates of inflation. This produced great emotional stress with constant feeling of insecurity and feeling that one will not be able to make his living. Yes. How to deal with that, sir? Thanks. Well, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. And it's one of the worst things that one could feel every morning getting up and not to see hope, because your focus. Now remember, I'm not speaking from the high grounds. In other words, I'm not insensitive or unappreciative to what you're saying. I'm just saying that I'm so humbled and in pain that I can't do anything about it. So it's not like what I'm saying is belittling the problems that you just brought out. I'm just trying to see if there is an angle where you can use to destroy the dam. You know how a big dam's holding billions and billions of gallons of water. They build dams with strong concrete walls and nothing can destroy it. But one small hole through the wall of this dam can eventually cause erosion, can eventually cause the whole thing destroy. Look at this problem that you're facing with as that dam, and look at what I'm trying to say to you as that little hole. That little hole could be the start of corroding all that monster to destroy it and dissipate it and let it all become poof, nothing. At least a way for you to have hopes, and this is what I'm trying to say. So I understand what you're saying. My heart bleeds for everyone in the world who's going through troubles of that sort. Children being abused, women being abused, different parts, diseases, not medicine, and some parts like yours, not hope, much hope for economic viability and well-being. All kinds of problems all around the world. And there's not much one can do that could be a magical wand. But at least we can see what we can do when we cannot do anything. What we can do when we seem like cannot do anything. Because the whole purpose of our being is never give up. That's the whole secret of our species in our genome. We never give up. Because survival is everything. Now, in your case, when we are focusing on the things that we don't have, when we are focusing on the things that are impossible, seem impossible, we are already cutting all hopes out there, because we're focusing on the money that I don't have, on the future that I can't figure out right now, even though the future is not now yet, it's now. The future is not here yet, but I'm thinking that there will be nothing in the future, so I'm fearing of what hasn't happened yet right now. I understand that. So when we think about the things that we don't have, when we think about the possibilities that don't exist, seem like they don't exist, when we think about the future that is uncertain and we suffer for it now, we are accumulating all kinds of negativity that even if we could move 1 inch, we will be paralyzed, because we have accumulated all the no's, all the bads, all the negatives, all the lack of hope right concentrated here. Because we're focusing on the things that we want and we don't have. Maybe we can create that little hole in the dam by focusing on the things that we do have. Maybe we should focus on the things that we don't have and we don't want to have them, so we can bring hope to ourselves. Let's say, what could I do if I was in that situation? Perhaps I wouldn't be as brave as you are, but perhaps I would also be able to think, well, okay, I don't have much money, I don't know where I can get a job, but I also don't have such and such disease that I don't want. I don't have them and I don't want them. I don't want to have lost one eye, and I haven't. Trying to focus on reverse of the things that I do have, versus if I didn't have them, I would be devastated. But I don't. I do have the stuff that I want to have. Maybe that would be an angle. The other angle would be, let me focus on the things that I do have. What do I have? Well, naturally, I can breathe. I'm okay there then. I'm ahead of the ones who don't have that happening, which means they're gone. So I have a place to sleep. All right, that's necessary. So, okay, I have a place to sleep. I have ability to breathe. I can see. And I have a bit of thing to eat and some water or tea to drink. These are the basics of my life. If I were to start all over, there was nothing available in the world, I would need these to start all over. I needed a bit of a shut-eye to be able to sleep. I think you have that. Something to drink. I think you have that. Something to eat. I think you have that. And, of course, first and foremost, the ability to breathe. I think you have that. Therefore, let's focus on these that we do have, rather than focusing on things that we don't have, to give us the hope in order to catapult us over to go and get the things that we don't have. which we may be able to get them. But thinking about them, that it is impossible to get them, it already defeats the purpose. It already kills us in our mind, in our energy, in our ability to be putting our best foot forward and making an effort. Don't that happen. Don't let that happen. Don't let hopes and your energy to put your best foot forward and try to stop you. Don't allow this whole ability to want to try to die in you just because you think things are tough. Things are tough, but you're the toughest thing on this earth. It is not important how difficult it is. It's important that it's possible. Focus on the possibility. Focus on what you have. Focus on the fact that you can breathe. You have something to eat. You can have something to drink. You have a place to sleep. Focus on the things that you do have. And focus on the things that you don't have and you don't want to have them. And then that would give you that centerpiece of hope and ability to generate your energy to go and get the things that seems like impossible right now. But things always change. Things always change. You look at the ocean, you see no ships. And you see there's nothing in the ocean. But yet there is. Your field of vision cannot see any further than what you're seeing. The distance that you can see tells you there's nothing in the ocean, but the ocean is bigger than you can see. And from the center of it, there are ships coming your way. You never know. Keep making strides, as small as they are. Keep moving and building, doing something in order to materialize and realize the plans that you're hoping for. That's all I can say at this moment. Eventually, those ships become visible as long as you keep swimming. All right. Ahmed, I think that was something at least. Sean says, okay, I have a problem with my girlfriend. My girlfriend says I show no emotions. She says I don't call her beautiful or touch her. Why don't you touch her? What's wrong with you? Ross says, male 30 UK. Even though I've not spoken to my ex in over a year, I still can't get off my mind. This includes when I do activities, the thought and memories are still there. Yeah, they're there because you're only focusing on the intimacy, the sex. You're not focusing on what went wrong, what she was not good at, what you didn't like about her, because you're only focusing on the parts that you liked. And through the year that you've been thinking of her, you've conditioned yourself deeper and deeper, more and more. By thinking more about something, you condition yourself to think about it more and make it harder for you to not to think about her. Instead, you should have thought it's not a sin to forget her, because you have made such a big deal out of her in your own mind. Now forgetting about her seems like you're actually betraying your own mind, because it was you who made it and you don't have enough guts to go against yourself. Because you created such a big deal out of her, now you can't destroy that what you have created in your own mind, because it's your own brainchild. It's your own built, something that you built. It's your own creation. And you feel like it's a sin to destroy what you yourself believed that you should be creating, and you praised it, you worshipped it. It's hard to destroy the one that you've created as a god in your head. So stop that. Focus on the fact that she was just another human being. What's the big deal about it? It is your desire that is giving her value, and it is your desire that is thinking she was also great. Otherwise, on her own, she's nothing to write home about. What? What does she do? Is she what? As smart as Einstein? What does she do? Cure a common cold? She helps everybody? She's so compassionate, humanitarian. He brings peace to the world. What does she do? Is she more than what she is? A biological being like everyone else. She gets up, stinky mouth, gotta wash it, gotta shit, then clean herself, go and wash. So what you've made God of is something just like any other human being. Stop seeing her by the eye of the pleasure. You're seeing her by the eye of the pleasure, eye of desire. And that doesn't let you see her as the human she is. Make her seem bigger than what she is, more important than who she is or you are, because you're focusing on what she's capable of through her, the feelings that you will get, the pleasure that you get, and that's what making you feel she was all that. Otherwise, as a person, what is she? Focus on that. That can help you. Ross says it's Saturday night and she's probably out with another guy. So big deal. I feel as thought I need to fall for someone else to start. No, you don't have to fall for anybody else. Just see the fact that you never want to be with a girl who is going out with another guy. That's it. Disqualified. You never want to be with a girl. You never want a girl who doesn't want you. Disqualified. And see her for what she is, as I just told you about. Then you don't look at her as a god. She's a pleasure. That's what you're focusing on. You're focused on the pleasure part. You're not focusing on her person. If you focus on her person, you'll say, well, that person I can't get along with. First of all, she hasn't shown me enough courtesy. Second, she's going out with somebody else. And thirdly, she's a human being that we really weren't hitting it off. I liked her because I could get pleasure from her. Otherwise, what else is there? No compatibility. So disqualify her, it will be fine. You don't have to fall for somebody else in order to forget her. Who is she to forget? So easily, forget her. She's no big deal. You're focusing on the pleasure you could receive from her. That's why you think she's a big deal. That is provided through any other girl out there that you find interesting and you guys hit it off and get to know each other. P. Gray says, it's as tough as the person I was closest to. It's as tough the person I was closest to has died, but she's a half hour away. It's been a month. I'm a little having a hard time to read this. You say it's as tough as the person I was close to has died. It seems like if she has died. Okay. She's a half hour away, but okay. She's half hour away, but it seems to you like you have to think of her as if she's not alive anymore in your life. Okay. So what's the point? Don't be so bogged down with one girl. You know, she doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't want to be with you. Doesn't matter if she's half an hour away or just next door. To disqualify a girl who doesn't want to be with you. Why do you have to be chosen by a girl only? You also have to be able to have a saying in that. But you don't, because you're only focusing on the pleasure you receive from, you know, touching a girl, being with the girl, sleeping with the girl. You're not focusing on the girl itself. You're only focusing on the pleasure that you can receive through the physical intimacy. See if she's qualified or not. This is how girls qualify guys. They don't just sleep with any guy. They gotta like the guy, or they gotta see the guy, or they gotta, you know, find out that if they're compatible or not. There's a lot more to it before they, you know. So why would you think of her only as the level of pleasure you can receive with her? Why don't you focus on who she is, if she qualifies or not, you know? What makes you think that when a girl chooses another guy, that means that guy is better than you? Maybe the girl didn't have enough class or enough qualities to match up yours, and she had to go for something that she could understand, something lower than you. Why do you guys always think that the girl that she has chosen, the guy that she has chosen, is better than you? It actually could be because she couldn't appreciate you. She had to go to choose someone who was lesser than your qualities and expectations, so she could match, you know. But you don't think that way because you're only focusing on the pleasure. That's all. The girls see you as, you know, what they're looking for. They focus on what they're looking for, but you don't focus on what you're looking for. You're only focusing on, oh, I'm turned on, so she must be the right girl. It's not right. Tanya says, Sean, just be open and honest from the beginning to avoid being okay. David says, what would say to someone who is skeptical to talk about the energy of the universe and things that are not yet proven by science? Who says it's not proven? And you know what? There are many things that are proven now that wasn't proven 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, but people were talking about it, the philosophers, the meditation scholars, people who were into spirituality, they were talking about it. They were talking about the energy through the universe from 1,000 years ago, through the ancient Eastern cultures and ancient cultures. But the science hadn't caught up yet. So if you would have waited until the science caught up with it, so 1,000 years would have passed without any further experience and tests in what actually they knew about, waiting for science. How could science actually come up with it when the idea of it was not accepted or was not introduced? Because everybody was waiting for the science to come up with it. Science always usually runs behind the imagination. And when the imagination is there, or somehow, for some reason, that kind of a fact is proven by exercise, by experience, and then science catches up eventually further on. Look, what little I showed in my demonstrations in that seminar I did for that university a couple of years ago, the end of fear, where you saw somebody lift me up and then not be able to lift me up. Show me how science can prove that. So should we not do that until science proves that? How could science prove what I did, or what many masters or practitioners of such schools can demonstrate? I can't wait until science proves to me that the energy exists when I can experience it, when I can manipulate it, and for simple exercise like the bigger person lifts me up a second later cannot lift me up. Same mass, same thing. So what happened here? How is science going to prove to me? I'm not going to wait for science to tell me what I know is true and I experienced it. So the ones who are not open, then you don't have to open them. Move on. Move on to the ones who are open. You don't have time to waste on the ones who are not open enough to be able to understand certain things. And in order to help them to understand, there are certain exercises and examples that we use, which I used in one of my demonstrations, to help them see what is not usually visible, seeable. Because, you know, you can't constantly say sugar is sweet, sugar is sweet, sugar is sweet. People say, what do you mean? Until you take a bit of a sugar cube and put it in someone's mouth and say, this is what sweet means. That's what you mean, sweet. Okay, sweet. I can now understand what sweet is. Otherwise, by saying sugar is sweet, but nobody tried sugar, they don't know what sweet is. Sweet by itself is a taste. You can't describe a taste until you taste the taste, that thing, right? So, same thing, power of mind, power of mind, power of mind. Nobody can see it. That's why we do these exercises, unliftable body, unbendable arm, in order to show that there is more power to us than the physical part that we are seeing it. That's why these exercises are there, in order to show that this exists. Now, if one doesn't want to believe his own experience and his own eyes by seeing something that was just done and shown to him, and is waiting for science to bring reason, well, that's a stupidity. You know? It's like saying, you know, I'm not going to eat this peach to relieve my hunger until science comes around and proves to me that eating this peach will do this, and I will be then not hungry and be able to grow muscles, and if I eat protein will do this. There's lots of things that you do because your survival thing has taught you, and these sort of things are beyond that. They're tests and experiences that shows and proves to you that this energy exists. Now, if you still want to wait for science, science didn't come before the universe. Universe's laws have been in motion before any human being. Science was able to see it and dissect it or explain it. So I'm not really going to wait for science to always tell me what I know is true. It's like I see something with my eyes. Now I'm going to say, no, I don't believe it that I'm seeing something because I'm waiting for science to tell me that I actually can see. Well, same thing. Just because it's not physically visible, you're not going to believe the power that you have, which is invisible, the unliftable body through your mind and body coordination. The fact that you do it and you're capable of doing it, just like you're capable of hearing, just like you're capable of seeing, but you believe these, but you don't believe the one that is not visible, or you, it doesn't make sense. Waiting for science to tell you. Well, this is why we are way behind where we could be, because such powers are not taught in schools, are not taught publicly as part of the curriculums that we should all focus in sharing and learning. That's why we are such limited human beings, which goes on when we don't teach these things in the schools as grade ones. Therefore, we don't get spiritual enough, connected to the universe enough. Therefore, we become more and more separated from nature, at least in our own thoughts, and we become disrespectful to nature, disrespectful to life, disrespectful to each other, disrespectful to the whole idea of being one, all of us, and to protect and be in harmony with all of us. All of that changes because we are waiting for our own brain to prove to us what is already out there as a law, as a way that it works in nature, such as universal energy, unliftable body, and we're waiting for science to prove to us before we believe what is already out there, before science could ever get to it. So, David, I hope that was something for you to consider. Aso says, Mehran, how would you deal with people who have big, big, big ego like a balloon? I don't. I don't. I don't have to. I don't have time. Every day I'm trying to cut away people that I do business with who have egos, which doesn't allow the success of that venture. And the more I become the less I would be able to deal with these sort of people, the happier life one would have. So people have big egos, let them go. Let them go, because their own big ego will pull them down and drown them. I don't want to be there. Andrew says, dear sir, we should break up after 3 months later she got pregnant, and how she's in Switzerland and I'm in Australia. What should I do? Andrew, you kind of lost me at the first sentence. You said, dear sir, we should break up. Oh, are you asking, should we break up because after 3 months you guys were together for 3 months and she got pregnant, and now she's in Switzerland and you're in Australia? What should I do? We should break up because we had different religions. Give solution. Well, I don't know enough of your situations. You know, just because having different religion, what does it have to do with, you know, you're thinking about one thing that is different between you two, your religion, and you're forgetting about so many things that is the same between you two. You're both human beings from human race. You both understand love. You both like each other enough to sleep with each other. You both understand you have to eat, you have to drink, you have to sleep, you have different, same needs. You understand all these commonalities, but you're only focused on one thing that was taught to you by other human beings according to where they come from and what their beliefs are, which is all reasons for separations of human beings today. So what, your religions is different? That's between you and your belief. What does it have to do with being together? How come you're okay with dealing in business or any kind of a day-to-day interaction between people who have different religions? It's okay, everything is okay. But only being together and have children together is not good. Why? Because I am my religion. Are you? Was human being on earth first or religion? Religion came after human being was populating this earth. 1,000 years after. Thousands, millions of years after. So suddenly, who brought that religion? People's mind. Yeah? And people's mind is now separating us because of their beliefs. Where did those beliefs come from? From people. Because people existed before religions did. Now those religions who come from people is separating the same people who were one at the beginning, before the religion. You're still one, only you're thinking about certain things. The belief is different, but your existence, how you're put together, who you are, what your needs are, common grounds, all the same. But you're using something to separate yourselves from each other. Religion. Religion's supposed to be, all religion's supposed to bring people together, not to separate them. Before religion, people were together. When the religions came, they become more and more further away. Because suddenly they says, oh, this religion is the right. And the other one says, this religion is the right one. No, all these start fighting. Before they used to fight for food. Now, then they fought for women. Now, then they later fought for technology. Now they're fighting for religion. Or somewhere in between. So I think it's just silly to let religion limit your duties and responsibilities and emotions toward each other. What does religion have to do with it? You make it up. You guys, human beings, is created religion, which is a brainchild of yours, to be the deciding factor for your behaviors. You made it up. You chose that thinking. and you believe that thinking is going to dictate you how to live. It's your own thoughts, really. Upteen says, hello, please tell me how to tell if she is lying to me. How can I tell if she's lying to you? I don't have enough information. Come on, guys. What are you talking about? Pablo says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Pablo. I feel like a loser after my ex broke up with me. Oh, well, then the video that is about to come up is for you. I felt that she was the best thing to ever happen to me. Really? I think the best thing really happened to you was the fact that you were born and you're alive and you're here on this earth experiencing life. And she is just another thing that you're experiencing. She's not the best thing happened to you. The best thing that happened to you is the fact that if she was still with you and you were building something that you were going to build together, if not, she's not part of it, that's not the best thing that can happen to you. Obviously, it's very easy. It has been 2 months since she broke up with me and I still put myself down. Well, don't. First of all, Pablo, remember you're supposed to let me know where you're tuning in from, how old you are. That will help me out to know where you are in life, age-wise and cultural-wise, so on. And Pablo says, although she broke up with me, I feel guilty about myself and blame myself for losing. No, don't. Stop. There's nothing has happened in this world because she left. And because you take over liking her more than she likes herself. You're liking her more than she likes herself. She thinks it's not working out. She thinks she knows better. That's why she chose to go. But you think you know what's best for her more than what she knows best for her. That's, like you have a dog or you have a child, She's an adult. Let her deal with herself. You don't have to be responsible for her. She make her choices. And you respect her choices. But you respect yourself as well. Move on. Robert says, I sent a video to my cousin and it helped him. It helped him get steady. His voice has a new piece. Thanks, Mr. Mehran. Fine job. Oh, you sent one of my videos then, you're saying. Well, great. I'm glad that you shared the videos. And I'm glad that it helped him. Well, it should. We have our contents is really logical and truthful and based on human psyche and our thoughts and our emotions. Not just there, you'll be fine. It helps you to understand what's going on and have a certain way of thinking that helps you to see things more clear. We have over 1,200 videos now on this channel. And if we have all the little segments of the questions that answered in live talks, we will have something like 4,000 questions answered and topics discussed. And among them, they're bound to be a video that will serve you well and answers the questions that almost anybody could have about their psyche and about the relationship or breakups that they're going through and they're experiencing. So I'm glad that this has worked out for you, and thank you for sharing that and helping your cousin. Remember, guys, please click on the likes if you haven't. For the life of me, I can't understand. There's a lot more people than 10 here, but the number shows me 10 watching. What does that mean? Does that mean they're just watching outside the people that they're actually active? I don't get it. And then when it's uploaded, suddenly I see 170 people. So I don't know what is this number means. Any case, please like the videos if you like. The first part of my message was above that first message. P gray, P gray, P gray, P gray. Let's see. Let's go to P gray. P gray says, I need advice on how to move on. My woman sent me an email after 4 years saying she hasn't been in love with me for a while and completely cut me off. I didn't see bad signs. It's as though the person I was closest to has died, but she's half an hour away. It's been okay, forget it. Trying to sleep is the hardest. No. Look, it is not you who betrayed her or you let her go for no reason. She has decided that. Okay, so she's responsible. You have no guilt. You're not responsible. If she didn't love you or whatever, respect it. Wish her well. That's a human being and taking this journey of life and let her go. But don't think that by her leaving, you're stranded and you can't pedal your boat and experience other islands and find wonderful experiences and food and experience and people and women and friends. It's not like that. This whole world wasn't built so she could rule it for you. Otherwise, we didn't need such a big world for just her and you. Why do you think that she's the whole world? No, she's just an experience you had, and you liked that experience. You felt comfortable. You had your comfort zone. You had your order, and your mechanical process was set. And at the same time, your intimacy and sex was wonderful for you, and you were content. But now that is like how you were before you met her. You were surviving. You were existing. You were hopeful. Now you can be the same. You're still the same human being. You still can survive and hopeful and look for another woman. Just like you didn't know before you met her, you didn't know you will meet her. Right now, before you meet the next one, you don't know you will meet the next one, but you will. The same way as you met the other one, the first one. So, relax. She's not the whole world. She's just an experience of this big, vast place with so many experiences in it. That was one part of your life. The duration of it is over, and now you are free to move on and experience others with the things you learned in that 4 years or whatever. Again, you haven't told me how old you are. I need that in order to help me. So okay, from now on, if I see a question, I don't see where you're tuning in from, I don't see your age, I will move on until I get that. Good enough? Fair enough? I think it's fair. All right. All right. Riley says, hi Mehran, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Riley. 22 male, northwestern British Columbia. Oh, thank you first of all for observing the protocol and letting me know where you're tuning in from, how old you are. And I'm delighted to see that you're from this province. Not that I'm not delighted to see everybody else from other parts of the world, no, but it's because it's an anomaly. We don't usually get people from my own province here. Northwestern British Columbia, Canada. I have been watching since May 2015. Oh, wonderful. But I've never commented or anything because I watch your videos when I go to bed. I see. But you can still, comment because, oh, I see, because you're not awake when the videos are playing. You fall asleep because of my voice. If that's the case, you're forgiven. Otherwise, you can write a comment because often I'm up till late working or having Skype consultation with people around the world. It could be Australia or Hong Kong. They have different time zones, so I have to stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock sometimes in order to have that conversation with them. So you can always make a comment, and if I don't respond right away, I'll respond the next day. I always respond all my comments. There's hardly any comments, unless they slip through the cracks, that hasn't been responded if I see them during the past 6 years. Every comment has been responded. So do comment, because also your comment also helps this channel to be seen. Let me just stand up a bit. I went to the gym after a month of not going to the gym, and last night, and everything was fine. I enjoyed it, but then I lift one lift maybe a little bit different than I should have. It's kind of pulled a little muscle in the lower back, so I'm kind of trying to move a little bit to work it a little bit and give it a little bit comfort. Okay, let's sit down again. All right, so, and you say, thanks for helping me conquer my psyche. I'm delighted. I recommended your videos to people when they mentioned that they are going through difficult times. I'm thankful. Great. And Riley says, love you, dude. I love you too. Thank you very much for your kind words. If you can, and if you're in good, okay financial position, go to my site, mindthat6truth.com, and pick up the ebook, Me, My Psyche, and I. That's only $5.99, and definitely, as you all know, it's not designed, and this is not a pitch to make me rich. Oh, that rhymed. But I did make an effort to spend money to turn all the printed books into ebooks, because the printed books are heavy and expensive. The people are still buying, and I sign them and I send them, but they are heavy and not everyone can afford it. So because of the currency and all that, I changed them all to ebook. So ebook is available, and the same book, which is $80, is now for $5.99. So I want you to have, because I want everybody to have a copy of Me, My Psyche, and I. Me, My Psyche, and I. It's a book I want you all have. It gives you a lot about things about you, your psyche. It tells you a lot about your mind. It helps you with learning meditation, real meditation. It helps you to understand what relationship between your thought and consciousness, about the movement of mind, about if the mind has a home or not, why the mind is wandering around. All these things are in that book. Go on my site, Me, My Psyche, and I. Click on the book, whichever book you like. Look at the table of the contents. See what is covered there, and then click further. The book will allow you to read a sample chapter, and you will see a little taste of it, and then acquire it, have it on your system for reference. And the chapters are not continuous stories, so you can choose any chapter depending on what you're looking, what answer you're looking for from the table of contents. And choose them, read them, and enjoy them. I am sure it will help you out. And thank you for sharing the videos, Riley, and hope that you will continue to do so, as we need to be known and be more visible on YouTube, as we still have a long way to go to hit that 1 million subscribers. David says, thank you, Mehran, you're welcome. Upton says, can you tell me about the no contact rule? Is it true? Does it really work? I have a video on no contact rule. I think it's simply naturally when you don't have a contact with your partner for a while, naturally you will forget about the problems, and then you miss each other, and you tend to think that, okay, it's time to get back, and many of you do get back, but the problems are still there. Because all happened that the no contact rule, it's not a magic, it's just a bullshit thing. No contact for what? To forget, to trick and manipulate the others, and then get back to the same shitty relationship that wasn't working? What is this no contact rule for what? The whole purpose of it is to get back. What I'm trying to share with you guys is that when a relationship has not been working, and you tried to make it work, you tried to compromise, you tried your best, both of it, and it breaks up, then what's the fucking no contact rule for? It broke up, finished, go on. But no contact rule means, let me try to fool him again or fool her again. Let me bank on the feeling and the fact that she will miss me, but I'm still going to be the same jerk that I was. Or you're a girl and you think, oh, let me think that the boyfriend will miss her, but she's still the same asshole as she was, same behavior, same inappropriate conduct, or whatever else it is that between a man and woman or a couple who are having problems. All those problems still exist. They don't go away because no contact rule came to the picture. No contact rule is just to let things kind of quiet down. You know? It's like somebody steals something and runs out of town and things quiet down, people don't remember, and it then comes back to town. And there's the same behavior again. You've already been in a relationship. You've already seen the problems. You've already tried, compromised, helped, discussed, talked. It didn't work. You broke up. Now no contact rule. Why? Because all you're thinking about is fucking each other. You're not thinking about a relationship between each other. You're thinking about sex and the pleasure and the things that was comfortable for you. And in order to get that back, you're willing to be quiet for a while, so she'll forget the asshole that you were, or he will forget the asshole that you were, and then you will forget the differences that you had, and now you'll be willing to again go through the whole bullshit again, endure the problems again. That's what the no contact rule is really for. Otherwise, if you can't understand each other's differences or resolve problems, what does no contact rule solving? No, just covering it up for you to forget and start over. That's it. I'm saying start with somebody else. When you know you've exhausted all possible ways that you could compromise and help each other to get the relationship back on its feet. If it didn't and you broke up, good riddance. Move on. All right, Aptin, I hope that was something to help you out. Rishabh, Mina, hi Mehran. I was in a relationship. Okay, see, right now, I don't know if I'm talking to what age, from where, a man or a woman, nothing is known unless I read it. So please, observe the protocol. Before you put your question in, put down where you're tuning in from, if you're a man or a woman, and how old you are. Simple. And then your question. It helps me out to deliver a better answer, more suitable answer to you. I need to know your age, for damn sure. Hi Mehran, I was in a relationship with a girl who rejected me. She owed me some money, yes. When she suddenly said that she didn't want to continue the relationship with me, I told her to return my money. Go. And go. But she denied that she will return me later. As I was frustrated, I told her parents just for revenge, and later I feel that I did something wrong. Well, you know, yeah, you did and you didn't. Rishabh says, please help me on this, as I'm stuck that I did something wrong. Well, first of all, I need to know your age. So I'm going to wait, Rishabh, till you send me your age. I don't know how old you are. I don't know how to discuss it. So anybody who doesn't share the age, and if it's a man or woman, or where you're calling in from, tuning in from, I'll wait until you respond to that, because that helps me to respond properly. So I move on to the next one until I get that from Rishab. Tuta says I'm back. Okay, Tuta. Lottie, long time Lottie. Hello Lottie 40 from UK. Thank you very much for remembering the protocol. Do you think that logic is linear or multidimensional? For example, is an explanation from A to B, like a car drives, or more like a load of jellyfish? What logic are we talking about, Lottie? Or are you talking about logic in general? If you're talking about logic in general, nothing is absolute, because knowledge is limited. And when knowledge is limited, and thinking is limited, how could then logic be from point A to B just one angle? Some things is definitely just one way, A to B. But we have a combination, so logic is neither just one way, A to B, nor like the collection of jelly beans, jellyfish. Sometimes, like the jellyfish, logic could go all kinds of directions, and from many different paths you can come to the same or different points of views and different results. And sometimes there's only just one simple, you know, it's like the closer I get to the sun, the harder it gets. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's point A to point B. Simple. But if I want to say it's a hot day and it's be hot no matter what, no, it depends on what I wear, where I go. If I'm on the shade, I'm not, you know, so it's all kinds of angles. So that's as much as clarity I can see in these questions or my answer. So let me move on to Tuta says Sarah Connor sent me from okay. Okay. From 2786. Lottie says all three dimensions and different to see clear though the water and the waves. All three-dimensional and different to see. All three-dimensionals and different to see. All to the water and the waves. Yeah. I think I got the gist of it. P. Gray says, thank you, male US 34. Okay. P. Gray. Let's go back to P. Gray. See if I remember the question. P. Gray. Oh. I did respond that, right? Yeah, I did. I think I responded that already. There was another one that I was waiting for. It was for Rishab. Pablo's US, I'm 20-year-old. Mike, 22. Tuta says, Mehran, you have been terminated. Why? You came back after so long and you want to terminate me? Is that how you... Reese says, hello Mehran, just secured myself moving out on my own for the first real time, got a new job and trying to find a car. Took my life in my own hands, ha ha ha. Good boy. Good man. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Let's see. Rishabh says, hi Mehran, I am tuning in from India and my age is 22 and please answer my question, which is up there. Yes, okay. Now, if you would have bloody given me this information first time, I would have answered it by now. Rishabh. Okay, Rishabh 22 from India. Now, Rishabh says that he broke up with his girlfriend and the girlfriend owed him some money and he asked her to give the money back. She said no, and he went and told her parents. Well, you know, she's you did and you didn't. You did something wrong and you didn't do something wrong. You did something wrong and that is minor. It's listen, when you get friends with some girl and when you give her money, well, it's your responsibility now to know that that money may never come back, because you really are giving it to her thinking that she's your girlfriend and it's okay, and you feel like you're getting, you know, I don't know what you think, but you're kind of okay giving that money to her. You do expect it back, but it's between you and her. Now, you can't run to her parents and tell them when she doesn't want to pay you back. You got to deal with it yourself. You know? Why go to parents? You say, you know, listen, I go to the authorities and I get my lawyer to, you know, write an invoice and take you to court, and because there's evidence that I gave you this money and there's that. If you don't have an evidence, then, you know, good luck. Bye-bye. That money is gone. She'll never give it back to you because it depends on what kind of character she has. And that simply tells you that you're locked out. With just a little bit of money, you found out what she's all about. If she's not going to respect and honor her word, then why the hell would you ever think that she would have been a right choice for you when you're not still bounded by any means? She's taking your money and not honoring her word to pay you back. So that simply by that small cost, you learned and you saved a lot more of yourself by not wanting to be in a relationship with such a girl who doesn't honor her own words. No, so you should have handled it differently rather than going to her parents, because it's between you and her. Now, on the other hand, no, you didn't do anything wrong because she's been an asshole. She suddenly doesn't want to, you know, be with you, or you broke up with her. Whatever, she broke up or you broke up. Let me see. She suddenly, you know, realized she doesn't want to, she prefers not to give the money back than being with you. So she's an asshole. And therefore, on that note, she tried to pull a fast one on you. So you did very good that you went to her parents. Don't worry about it. I thought you broke up with her. No, she is being a smart ass. She didn't want to give the money back, and she chose to not honor it by severing the relationship. So she's being a smart ass. And so there's nothing else you could do. You could not go to the authority because you have no contract with her that you gave her that money. You couldn't get it anywhere. And you did go to her parents and you did good. Nothing wrong you did. Move on and don't give a shit. But the money is gone. The parents may never give it back to you, or they may. If they did, still you did the right thing because you got your money back through that. If they didn't, well, they're all assholes. So move on and don't give a shit. And don't ever get back to that girl. Ever. And even if you don't get the money back, just go on, make your money through your work and job, and Just sever your relationship with that kind of a people, and that's the end of that. Don't worry about it. You did nothing wrong. Move on. Be happy. Enjoy yourself. Reese, Duncan, yeah, good for you. I remember I read that. Tuta says Skynet just recognized. Yeah, okay. Tuta, what have you been smoking? Today you're in the in the Arnold Schwarzenegger's series of Terminator and all that. Mike says 22 male USA. Thank you for observing the protocol. Are there mental exercises I can do once my brain wanders and dwells on the good times? I was in a relationship with her for 2 years. She broke up with me 2 weeks ago. Yeah, well, naturally, you're going to be thinking about all those good memories because especially at your age, 22, sex is everything. Mind you, sex seems to be everything in any age. But definitely when you're young, you have nothing else to compare it with, and there's no other projects that you can think it's more important, and no family or no concerns that you would be focused on. And sex and the girl that you get sex through and get that excitement is just heavenly, yeah? Yeah, but you got to remember it's the sex that is heavenly, not necessarily a good girl, yeah? Because in that experience, you're focused on the whole emotion, the frequency of existence. And that can be created with any girl that you like, and the girl likes you. So it's not that she was so wonderful, that whole pleasure was wonderful. So if you separate these two, now that it's not working, because when it was working, then it's all the same. But when it's not working, it's not the same. The pleasure and the girl should be separated, because you're now thinking about the pleasure experience, and yet you're thinking she was also just as perfect as the experience of the pleasure. The feelings you got through the pleasure was. But it's not true. Her entity, her consciousness, her mentality, her character was what was different between you and her, and it didn't work. But the excitement and the feeling and the pleasure and the experience of that intimacy for you is perfect. But that's not because that's not representing her consciousness and mentality perfectly matching yours. It's just two different things. The pleasure is one-sided. You are experiencing that pleasure with the woman who liked you and consented to have sex with you, and that pleasure is not because she's such a wonderful person. It's because you're attracted to her physical being at that moment. So right now you're remembering all that, and you think that represents how good she was. No, if she was that good and compatible, you guys would still be together. So separate them and understand that this pleasure that you're so hung up on and thinking about can be and definitely is possible to get it through another girl who would like you, and you two would hit it off and get to know each other, and then end up agreeing to have sex. And the same amazing feelings would be there, and even better, because the older you get, the tastier it gets. Don't forget that. The older you get, the more amazing this whole sexual experience will get. So look forward for deeper feelings when you're making love with the girl that you will choose, because you will choose better. The next girl will have more things in common with you. You may think back and say, well, you know, it was so good with that girl when I was 20 years old or 22 years old, because at that point you really didn't have any expectations. You had no standards. You weren't picky about which girl it was, as long as she was pretty. And because you didn't know much about yourself, you hadn't made anything out of yourself, You simply weren't much yourself, so you would think she's gorgeous, she's great, she's better than you, she's all there is to be, and therefore everything would seem perfect. But later on, when you learned about yourself and you expected more, more qualities from the girl that you want to be with, therefore, then you started being more focused on the quality rather than just the physical attributes, and therefore you may go back and think when you were much younger it was she was better. No, it wasn't that she was better, because you didn't expect much more and the sex seemed so perfect. She seemed so perfect because you didn't expect so much more. You didn't have any standards and you didn't think much of yourself. But later on, when you think you've accomplished something, you've built something in your life, and out of yourself, you think a little bit more about yourself, you expect a little more things from the girl that you want to be with, more expectations, you'll have more standards, then you will have more things to focus on if she's the right quality or not. But in the past, when you were younger, you didn't. So you still, when you think of the past, you think, oh, she was so perfect. No, it wasn't that she was so perfect. You just didn't have any expectations or standards. Now you do, so they don't look that perfect. So, however, having said that, you will have much better and better experiences in your relationships and sexual experiences with the girl of your choice and the relationship that you will choose, and you will both enjoy it better than when you enjoyed it when you were much younger. So the older you get, sex gets better. So go on, enjoy your life. Reese says, in case you don't remember, 22 UK. Thank you, Reese, appreciate it. Thank you. 22, and I'm more proud of you that you were able to bring that result at this age. I'm glad that you did. Now be frugal with your money. Make sure you will always have some money. Keep 10% of your money always in a separate account, yeah, and don't touch that. Any money that you make from your job, just take 10% and move it into a different account that you don't remember, you don't touch. Always, it is always a good idea to have maybe 4 or 5 accounts. One would be account that you will pay your utilities. So when you get your pay, you will figure out what percentage of it belongs to your hydro, I don't know, water charge, electricity charge, or maintenance, or your rent and all that. You put all that money, that percentage, in that account. Rental and costs of this and that, or of food and whatnot, yeah? And the other one would, 10% would be your savings. And the other one would be miscellaneous, bullshit things, fun and this and that. So maybe 3 accounts at least. So in that way, you will not touch it. You will know exactly how much money you have for your fun things, dating, movies, stuff like that, or clothes you want to buy, all that thing, household items you want to buy, all that in there. And then the rental and hydro and electricity and whatever else that you have to pay for your living, car payments and all that's all in one account. And the other account is 10% of it your savings. So you have 3 accounts and you're clear how much money you have or you don't have, and you won't be spending the money for rent, for your food or for your clothes because you simply were going through some shit that you felt like you need to spend this money. So you will only know which account is for what, and you will limit yourself. So that way you will build something and you will always have some kind of security and more accountability toward your money. So be frugal, be careful, and build your life, and don't waste your money on bullshit either. Good job. I'm proud of you. The Raf says, hey Mehran, I did something really out of character after my breakup a few months back. Hit the self-destruct button on gambled a lot of money as a coping mechanism. Ooh, I'll never do that again, but I cannot get over the thought of losing so much money. Well, yeah. I feel like I wasted a year of my life with losing so much money, I'm being with the wrong person. I left all this happen during getting over a previous divorce. Life is going well, and I have worked on myself physically, lost 100 pounds, as mentioned before, good for you, but struggling with the thoughts of losing so much money, the stupidity. As I said, it's so out of character for me to do something like this. But now, looking back, I'm disappointed in myself. Well, yeah, you should be disappointed of yourself. You fucked up. But you know what? You'll never do that again. Because you know that was out of character. You know that you're pissed off at yourself. That you didn't respect yourself. You didn't trust your thoughts and your way of thinking. And you gave into some bullshit of thinking, well, maybe I was too uptight. That's why my girlfriend or my wife left me. So let me now just let my hair down and fuck it. Let me just go gamble and let's just take risks. All that kind of bullshit that was put in your head either by your wife or girlfriend or whoever the fuck it was, or your own shitty self at the time, caused you to give in to that kind of a nonsense. It's like being at the war and the general sees that the whole left, south wall is broken, and or they're attacking that way, and instead of fortifying the south wall, he says, fuck it, let's just let it all hang out. Let's all fucking attack wherever, however we like, with no organization, with no discipline, no plan, and let's see what happens. Because we can. It'll be okay. I'm sure it'll be okay. They all get fucked. You never do that. The tougher the situation gets, the tougher and more thinker you should become, like a general in a war. In the old wars, I'm not talking about the today's war when they sit in their places and they send bombs. I'm talking about the old wars. It was an involved decision making on site. And life is like that sometimes. You go through a hardship, you break up, or your wife leaves you, you become injured. And that injury is supposed to make you more alert and sharp. Not to give up and say, fuck it, let the animals come and eat me. So what? Well, you know so what when they put the fresh teeth into your flesh. You say, holy fuck, I didn't mean that. But saying that should be before the animals attack you. Meaning you should create a cocoon, you should create accountability, a plan, devise a plan, and prepare for winning, recuperating, regaining your strength, and collecting more, firewood to warm up, keep the wolves away, or weaponries to create to be able to give a good fight. Same thing here. You fucked up because you didn't regroup. You just allowed your injured self to go out and take on the world while you were lame and injured, instead of focusing on what things you should be fortifying, what things you are weak at, what things you should be focusing on. And then deal with that through that way, and then go on and build your life again, rather than go piss it all out, send the whole army, which was your money, to go and have R&R, fuck yourselves, go to whorehouse, go drink, and tomorrow we'll fight. It'll be a different war. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But that's why you got like this. So you will never do that again. But now that I've done it and it's gone and it's finished, what the fuck you keep thinking about it? Blaming yourself for what? So you did it. You shouldn't have. You did it. You shouldn't have. You did it. You shouldn't have. But you did it. It's done. Finished. Focus here. Where are you going to get? By keep looking back. While you keep looking back, you will not see where you're going. You're going to crash. Let that go. Don't focus on what you did. Focus on what you want to do and what you will do, what you should be doing. For that, you need to pay attention here. Meaning, focus on your life. And then now, the past is gone. It doesn't exist. Whatever. The money, okay. You did a real bad thing. Fucked it up. But that's gone. Now focus on building. You cannot build more success by keep looking at what fuck up you did before. So, for that note, take your focus here and look ahead and build and build and build, and consider that money was the cost of this lesson that you learned, that you will never ever treat your money or yourself that way again. So that was the cost of it. Of course, you could have paid that money to me and talked to me on Skype one-on-one, but you fuckhead, you couldn't see it through and you went and fucked it up like that. And you deserve it now. Now, next time, if that happens, before you go blow it up, make an appointment on my site and then we'll deal with it together. All right. Now, don't worry about it. Keep going on and don't blame yourself. You did it and that's what you did. But don't do it again. That's it. You can regain your confidence in you by not ever doing that again. That's all. That's all you have to focus on. Not what you did, the fact that you will not do it again. That's what you focus on. Move on. Live your life. Reese Duncan says also happy 200 in a live stream anniversary. Yes, that's right, guys. 200. Make sure you like the live stream before you go. Reese says she's gonna end up being a rich man's wife, being left to rot at 40 for a younger, pretty girl. Don't worry about what she's gonna be left out. Don't focus on her. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Reese says, Jesus, that money stealing girl sounds like a bullet that needed to be dodged. Oh, I see. You're talking about that other situation. Okay, I thought you were talking about you. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. I'm sure Mehran knows what I mean from all his sweet book deal. Dollar. Yeah, right. Reese says, that's solid idea on the accounts. I think I'll write that down. Good. Good. Yeah, do that. You'll be fine. Jake says, how do you know when to break up, though? I've never understood when I should. When you don't think you are able to love her and take care of her and be fair to her, be respectful to her, and when you do not see yourself smiling when you see her, and you don't see her reciprocating the love you show her, if it's not you who is initiating it, where you still love her but you see that she doesn't, and she's not unselfish, she's not caring, she doesn't see happy when she sees you. So when you see these things, it's time for you to, don't wait for her to sever it. You say, hey, listen, this does not seem to be working out. You're not happy. I'm happy to be with you, but you're not happy, so that's not good. I don't like to be with someone who is not happy to be with me. So, girl, bye-bye. Don't wait for her to say goodbye to you. Just see it coming and discuss it. If it's not resolved, bye-bye. Or if you are the one who are not happy, and then you simply gotta call it and say, look, these are the problems. Can we fix it? You guys try. If you didn't, you couldn't. Whatever time passes, then you just move on as well. He says, I've never understood when I should. My answer is never clear. I love her deeply, but I'm not happy, and I don't know if it's just my depression doing this or not. I didn't know if you have depression. You got to check with your doctor and see if this is a clinical depression. If they do a blood test and find out if there is any imbalance in your blood chemical, and they may be able to remedy that. They sure will be. Or is it just a depression because you're not happy with yourself and has nothing to do with being clinically depressed or need a medicine from your doctors and so on. So figure that out, and then if you're all okay from your doctors, you get the clean bill of health, and they say you're just not happy in that relationship, is not suiting you well, and then you will deal with it and move on, and there's nothing to regret. But if it's because other things are bothering you in life and you haven't built what you should supposed to be building in your life, accomplished what you wanted to accomplish in life, and that's what making you be unhappy, then don't blame it on her. If she is a nice girl and she takes care of you, she's good to you, and so on, then just go and figure out your problems, solve your, I don't know, economic problems or things that you want to accomplish, your studies, whatever it is, and then you know, rebuild your relationship with her once you take care of those problems. Because sometimes it's not the relationship, it's just you personally because of the other things that you're having difficulties with. But if it's a clinical thing, then the doctors will tell you that, okay, you are short in this kind of chemical, and so here it is, and then you'll be up and at it again. So I hope guys you have gotten all your answers. It looks like we hit all the answers and we're done with it. So thank you again for being here, sharing your time with me. Please share the videos that you like on your social media. Help us grow. And I love you all, and look forward to talk to you again, and perhaps tomorrow. And until then, be good to yourself and the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.